Chapter 2 was a new movie directed by Andy Muschietti, and it was one of my favorite anticipated movies going into 2019. I had so much excitement. This movie has a beautiful cast. It has James McAvoy, Jessica Chastain, Bill Hader. They play the adult versions of the Losers Club. So 26 years has passed, and it has finally run amok and now doing his crazy little things. You know what? It would have been so much better if you can actually see me do the Pennywise dance. And Michael, who decided to stay in Derry, Maine after they said their oath, noticed that it has returned, and he has called all of the other members of the Losers Club and asked them to come back to Derry, Maine to finally end this It threat once and for all. And we have the movie It Chapter 2. It Chapter 2 was one of my anticipated movies going into 2019, and I had so much excitement going into it. And that's when I thought to myself, this review is going to be a little tricky because there are some things I love with this movie, and there's some issues I have with all of that. I had to say that this movie was entertaining. I had a good time leaving out of this theater, and I have to say that Bill Skarsgård as It did a phenomenal job playing the character. I also love the performances from the adult cast. James McAvoy, Jessica Chastain, Bill Hader, all were perfect casting choices in this movie. The adult actors did a fantastic job of portraying the older versions of the characters. And while you're watching the movie, the actors do a fantastic job blending into the role to make it feel as one. You don't feel as two people are playing one character. They're all just one character. Actors did a fantastic job of keeping the mannerisms and quirks that these children are known for doing. For example, Bill, he has a stutter. James McAvoy did a fantastic job of keeping that stutter. See, this movie is 2 hours and 49 minutes, and I have to say this movie has some pacing issues with the movie. If you have a movie that's well over 2 hours and 30 minutes, you need to go by the rules of filmmaking. You need to have put something in between the film to make the audience captivated and capitulate on what you're trying to present on screen. I feel like there was times in this movie where I felt bored because the film utilized heavily on flashback scenes of going back and forth into the past, into the present. And when they go back into the past, that's when the film does a good job of fleshing out the younger kids of the Losers Club, but they didn't really do much characterization of the adults. The film sort of rushes itself in the first act to try to get the adults into Derry, Maine, and when they got to Derry, Maine, that's when the film definitely picks up and these characters go on a personal journey. So the most of the 2 hours and 49 minutes of screen time doesn't really cover much of the mythology of the It character. Most of the 2 hours and 49 minutes basically consists of flashback scenes, where I felt like most of the flashback scenes were mostly felt like deleted scenes that you should have gotten in the It movie, or basically like the extended cut version of the movie. And that was primarily the main issues I have with it, that the film covered lots of story revolving around this character. I like that personal connection to the past, a personal journey with the characters. I did like that aspect of the movie, but when it came to the mythology, like the It character and the universe itself, and it just wasn't explored as much as the original explored it or the novelization explored it. In this movie, they hardly explored it at all. And I just feel like it was a missed opportunity there. Don't get me wrong, this movie is definitely good. It has some tremendous performances. Bill Hader definitely blew it out the park. And I want to see Barry. Bill Hader plays a character, or I think he plays an assassin in Barry. But I'm really interested in watching Barry after watching Bill Hader's performance. It's not Oscar-worthy, but definitely after watching this movie, his performance is going to put Bill Hader on the map, most definitely. Yes, this movie does a really good job with bringing the entertainment value. You will have a little bit of emotion with this movie, because this movie does have a little bit of feels here and there. Also, I would have to say that the movie was funny, and most of the funniness has to do with some of the scare sequences in this movie. It's actually funny because some of the scary imagery that we see on screen, it doesn't really have much creativity revolving around the scare tactics. You felt like the adult actors of the characters they're playing felt like they were actually good friends for a very long time. That was part of the Losers Club. You felt the camaraderie, you felt the friendship. The chemistry was definitely there. But my main issue has to do with the flashback scenes that's sort of unnecessary. And also I had an issue with they didn't really cover much ground on the mythology. They pretty much like scratched the surface. And I wanted more. I just wanted more with the story. So this, on a technical standpoint, this movie is not as good as the first, but I still was entertained. I'm going to give It Chapter 2 a Christian Bale Batman. This movie was thoroughly entertained, and I will buy this movie on Blu-ray. You will get your money's worth watching this movie, so go check out this movie in theaters. Take a family, take friends. Alright guys, that's my review of It. Have you seen It Chapter 2? What are your thoughts? Comment below and let's talk about it, and I'll see you guys in the next review. And I got a couple of music heading your way. So I'm going to have a music. The next video is going to be a music video. And then the second, I'm working on another music video, which coming out sometime next week. So stay tuned for that. You have been warned. I'm making music. So if you like everything you see and you agree, subscribe to my channel and join me in the Batman family. I'll have more Batman-tastic reviews in the way. You are it. Till then, ciao.